Welcome to the Five Arms and a Lucky Fin podcast. I'm your host, Brendan McCormick, with David Soloway, aka Viral Sensation. And David, I am honored and humbled to have another Hoosier in the studio. We have Maurice Creek, aka Mo Creek, aka Bucket Getter, aka Three Machine, aka Candy Stripe, aka George Washington alum. Man, we are pumped to have you on, Maurice Creek, Mo Creek. Welcome in.
I appreciate y'all having me.
It's an honor, man. It's absolutely an honor. We're pumped to get it started. Maurice, let's talk a little bit about your background a little bit. When you think back to young Maurice in Maryland, who do you think you want to be like and who inspired your game?
Ah man, so I had a couple of people that I wanted to be like. Of course, I'm a '90s baby, so I was watching basketball in the '90s. Reggie Miller was one of the guys that inspired me to be a great shooter. Just watching him, how he moved, how he shoots the ball, and his quick release and everything. Of course, Jordan was athletic. He was, the primetime guy, but he also had the attitude of having that, being that guy, being the leader that he was, and installing the championships into his team and everything like that. So, them two guys right there at a young age was who I was looking at. As I got older, my favorite player started to get be Tracy McGrady. And he was more so the jack of all trades. He's tall. He's 6'9". I'm not that tall, but he
You're
just
tall.
had a. I'm 6'5", but he had everything. He could shoot. He could put it on the floor. He was athletic. That's something that I wanted to install my game into, and I think I did a pretty good job of it. I mean, people know me for being a shooter, but I'm also a three-level scorer, and I could create for others. And I think I got my game from him.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. There is one shot that we'll talk about later that you had at George Washington, and I rewatched that clip several times. I'm like, man, he juked the freaking heck out of this dude. He like fell to the ground. So we'll talk about that a little later. I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about, but
Yeah.
but yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. Obviously, coming out of high school, you were recruited by Indiana. Talk about that a little bit. I noticed, don't know if this is true. Wanted to ask you that you committed before your official visit. So talk
Yeah.
about your recruitment process and what drew you to Indiana, and also describe the first moment you walked into Assembly Hall.
Yeah. So it was a tough process for me. People don't know Maryland was my first choice, and
Mm,
so just being a hometown kid, I wanted to stay home. But they gave my scholarship away, and so I was a '08 year '08, but because I reclassed
yeah.
as a freshman at Mount Zion Christian Academy, I was '09,
Okay.
and it was between me and another guy, and they gave it to the other guy, which I'm not mad at. You know what I mean? They
Mhm.
need somebody as of early, they're gonna give it to that guy.
Yeah.
Um, they just didn't have me. They didn't know what I
Mhm.
was about until I actually got there.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
but all in all, I definitely committed early. I was at South Kent when me and my family were talking about it.
Mhm.
My last three on the list was at that time it was Miami,
Mhm.
um, it was Indiana, it was Marquette, but then we found out Coach Crean was moving from Marquette to
Yeah.
Indiana, so it just shifted to Indiana, and then it was Texas,
Mhm.
and Texas kind of fell into the cracks with me. I didn't really take too many visits,
Yeah.
um, but I just felt Indiana just had everything I needed as far as being seen. They
Mhm.
had the legacy of other players there. They had the championship. So this was like a basketball pedigree school.
Mhm.
When it came to Miami, I don't think my peoples thought I was gonna make it there.
Yeah.
So, Miami is one of them schools to where you got to be on your P's and Q's at all times, or you could get yourself into a little bit of trouble
Yeah.
if you're not on deck with that. So, it just made sense for me to go ahead and become a Hoosier, and um, I definitely enjoyed my time there, man.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, what was the vision that Coach Crean had to sell you on with him going from Marquette, Indiana, trying to have to build the whole thing? Was there some? Did he have to see on that, or did you have a good relationship with him and that's kind of what led you there?
So honestly, it was more so of at first it was more so like Benny Seltzer at the time. So Benny
Sure.
Seltzer was coming to my house. He was talking to my people.
Mhm.
He would pull up to games and stuff like that. So I seen Coach Crean at one of my games when I was at South Camp Prep. Um, and we were playing, I think, New Hampton or something like that. And then we actually
Yeah.
had the conversation of who I actually could become. And
Mhm.
um, I kind of wanted to install that Dwayne Wade figure into me because he created Dwayne Wade. Now, I mean, he didn't
Yeah.
create Dwayne Wade, but he installed him
Yeah.
into Dwayne Wade, and
Right.
I just felt my game being that. And at the time, it was just more so me and him had a good relationship,
Mhm.
and um he just was telling me like, look, we want you to come in and be who you are and don't shy away from anything. And I understood that at that time they had some, it was kind of new for him. They had people coming in,
Yeah.
people coming out. I came in with six freshmen. So it was just kind of a irregular feeling for me at first, but then
Mhm.
as I got there and I played with the guys and stuff, I just felt comfortable at home, and it was just like home to me.
Ex uh, Explain the feeling of dropping 30 points in a game in an Indiana Hoosier uniform. That had to be a special moment, man. That had to be a special moment.
Yeah, it was that night was very interesting for me, I will say, because I didn't really get a lot of sleep. I was that
Wow.
pumped to play Kentucky
Dang.
that year, and I knew a
Mhm.
couple of the guys. Me and
Yeah.
John Wall, we go way back, so it was
Wow.
just at that time we were even talking about playing together. People don't know, so
Wow.
it
Interesting.
was more so like I was so pumped up to play him. I played him against
Yeah.
him in AAU, and he kind of embarrassed us. Um, it was one of them things where we just understood who he was, and he actually
Yeah.
showed out every time. So thinking about that uh, at a young age, I'm like, nah, I got to get my lick back somehow, some way. I got to go ahead and figure this out right now. And then
Yeah.
that whole night, I was just up watching film on them, what they like to
Uh,
do, how to utilize their players. They had the
yeah.
freshman core of him, Eric Bledsoe, DeMarcus Cousins,
Yeah.
with the whole tandem of other pro guys. So it was going to be
Yeah.
tough for us, and I knew that.
Uh-huh.
Um, but my whole focus was just showing myself and having people understand who I was, because a lot of people didn't really
Right.
know. They understood who I was because of
Mhm.
how I was ranked, and I'm a 4-star athlete and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
it's a difference between being a 4-star athlete and being a 5-star athlete. They
Hmm.
gonna give you all
Yeah.
the recognition, all the hype and everything around you. So my whole goal was having my best game that game. I was calm, cool, and collected. When you come to those games, you're pumped to
Yeah.
be that you're pumped to be there. But me, I
Right.
was just calm. I was listening to R&B music all night.
Hey.
Just
Yeah.
having my mind at ease at that point. And yeah, I
Yeah.
happened to have one of my best games. I mean, not just at that era, but just all around being one of
Yeah.
my best games.
That is really interesting that you are that close with John Wall. I personally did not know that. That is very interesting that you all played together for a very long time. Man, him and Mo together, that would have been dangerous. Whew.
Yeah, we
Man, I
actually
feel like
so he's from North Carolina. We didn't actually play
yeah.
together, but
Okay.
we knew of each other because
Right.
I had played against him at an AAU tournament, and like I said, embarrassed us. But like
Yeah.
I had a phone call with him, and
Yeah.
saying, kind of trying to fill out like, hey, what do you think?
Mhm.
Like, and
Yeah.
then I knew it was over when he said Kentucky. Like, I just was like, yeah, I get it, I understand. But
Yeah.
it would have been great to have a speedy point guard like that. But the guys
Yeah.
that I was with was just as good. A
Yeah.
lot of they put in the hard work and the dedication just to get to where they got to, and that was a for me to see the growth of them was
Mhm.
basically like the started from a bottom and actually being and getting up to the top,
Yeah.
and a lot of guys just are already at the top. So then it's
Mhm.
it's more so like it's in your favor to be at the bottom if you want to, if you don't put in that work. But
Mhm.
we actually started from not really being a good team to actually being one of them top teams. So I definitely appreciated the guys that I was with for sure.
Would you say Tom Crean definitely contributed to creating that type of environment though around to get those guys to grow and reach their full potential? Or do you think the guys always had it in them and then in college they just dug it out?
What I say is that I always tell people this all the
Mhm.
time. Coaches are there, but
Yeah.
players are always going to be players. It's
Mhm.
just what you
Yeah,
want out of
that's
the
true.
game. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I'm not
Mhm.
knocking Coach Crean or anything of that
Right.
nature.
No.
Like, he definitely has his X's and O's. He put people in the right spots and everything like that. But when it comes to basketball, it's a player's game. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We have to go out there and execute that. We have to go out there and, put in that type of work to basically
Hmm.
put you in the opportunities to win games and stuff like that. So for
Yeah.
me, I knew all the guys had it. I had played with them all summer long, and worked out with them and everything. And I knew that the guys that I was with, including myself, were going to be good at the game of basketball. It just was a
Right.
fact of how good did we want to be? You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Yeah.
Who do we want what did we want our identity to be? And you could clearly see like from Jordan Halls to Christian Watford to Yogi Ferrell to Cody Zeller, like these
Yeah.
guys already knew like you
Mhm.
know this is a player's game. It's just how long and how much do I want out of this game.
Yeah. Shoot. You listed those players and I'm like, man, those are some dogs, man. I'm hoping that
Yeah,
the new
yeah.
head coach
Even the
gets
people that
people like that.
left, like even the
Yeah.
people that transferred out, you could still see that they had great careers. Remy
Yeah.
Abel,
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's true.
Jeremy Hollowell,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just the Peter Jerkin, Hannah Pereira. They had great
Wow.
careers. So you
Yeah.
just go, it just goes to show like a coach can be a coach. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? They're gonna
Yeah.
push you to the potential that they want you to be at. But how far do you want to go as a basketball player? That's
Mm.
what you gotta understand as it being a player's game.
Yeah. That's a shoot. Man, hitting on all four corners right there, Mo. Jeez. That's good feedback. That's interesting. Who was looking back on your time with the Hoosiers, who was one of your favorite teammates to play with?
Ah man. And I
Maybe
only
multiple.
and I was about to say it's
Yeah.
I just enjoyed everybody, honestly. At the time, me and Vic had this connection.
Okay.
Both of us being from Maryland,
Yeah.
we damn near was in the gym with each other. I mean, granted,
Yeah.
like I was always hurt, so I couldn't really get
Yeah.
the time that I needed to fulfill myself and to what I mean. If I was just as healthy, I would have been in there just as much.
Yeah.
But he did what he needed to do. I think um me and Remy though,
Hmm.
that's my dog. So like that,
Gotcha.
me and Remy, we just had this connection
Uh-huh.
on a short amount of time that a lot of
Yeah.
people don't understand. And even being away from each other after I transferred, it never wavered. Even to this day, I literally just hit Remy up not too
That's
long
awesome.
ago. Like, he's in
Yeah.
Uruguay
awesome.
right now, killing it. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's just my dog. And he just understood me as a person. I understood him. And we never had like one of them times where we kind of faltered each other or anything. It just always been good vibes. It always been good hoops. If I played with them, if I played against them, I played against Remy overseas. It's
Okay.
always been love and everything of that nature. So if I
Yeah.
had to say who was my favorite person to play with, it probably would have been Remy for sure.
I got you, man. Shoot. Yeah. Even man, I forget about the people that transfer out. I really do. I really do.
Yeah.
That you listed some absolute dogs on those players. Shoot, that had really good careers. Mo, I mean, obviously you had some really good highs, and we'll talk about the lows now at Indiana. Man, talk about some of the injuries, and obviously that's never fun to talk about, but obviously made you into the man you are. And what type of advice would you give to young athletes that are going through similar times of maybe it's their first injury, second injury, third injury? What advice would you give to them?
Yeah, I'll just start on that note. Be who you are. Uh, a lot of times, a lot of people want to change you for what they want you to be, but
Mm-hmm.
you got to understand who you are and whose you are. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
always think the man upstairs, my
Mm-hmm.
Lord and Savior. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and people don't understand like without him, nothing's possible. But also, you go into these high schools, you go into these colleges, you go into the professional game. Yes, they are there to put you into the right atmosphere, the right aspects of the game. They know the game, so that's why they're there at that point. But
Mm-hmm.
understand who you are and don't never try to do too much to a point where that's not you. And
Mm-hmm.
that's not even just basketball, that's life
Yeah.
too. If I mean,
Absolutely.
if somebody doesn't rock for you,
Yeah.
then that's not the person for you. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's what I tell all of my young guys. Like
Mhm.
I I'm me because I never wavered from what I do best.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to improve and increase by the day goes by, and
Yeah.
a lot of the times people tend to want to change people, and people will
Yeah.
let them change them into something that
Mhm.
they want them to be, and that's where they falter themselves.
Yeah.
So honestly, for me, when I got hurt the first time, of course,
Yeah.
having the stellar year that I was having,
Yeah.
um, I just always kept it at that. Like
Mhm.
it didn't matter what I was going through or how I was feeling at the time. When
Yeah.
I got my chance to be me, I was always going to be me. And it didn't matter. I
Yeah.
love the game too much to quit on it. So
Yeah.
I went through three of them things in 22 months. Three surgeries in 22 months is not something that's normal. That's irregular.
No, it is.
And for me to still be me to this day, it just shows you like I never let nobody change me into something that I wanted or they wanted me to be. I changed for
Mhm.
me. So I will say that, and just be your best self. If you be your best self, if you know it's something you got to work on, if it's something, again,
Yeah.
life situations, basketball, whatever the case may be, do that. Be your best self. That's what I would tell to you.
Man, what an answer. What an answer, David. Wow.
Yeah,
It's like
love
a
it.
whew.
Inspirational, honestly, for three surgeries in 22 months, and came back, played 2 more years in college, and then professionally for 10 years. That's very inspirational to keep with it. Like you said, you never quit on the game.
Yeah. And I mean, at the time, like I had to think about life. I didn't really know too much other than basketball. Like
Right.
Yeah.
I'm a smart kid, but
Uh-huh.
like basketball was life to me.
Yeah.
That was my first love. Like
Mhm.
before everything else came about, family is always family. Family
Yeah.
first, God first, family second, basketball third. That's how I always thought about it within life. But when it
Yeah.
came to the sport of basketball, it has taken me through journeys that a lot of
Mm.
people would never understand. Like
Yeah.
when I was going through tough times, I would go to the gym. When I needed my mind cleared off of life, period, like if I'm
Yeah.
going through anything in life, I wouldn't really tend to like friends and stuff like that. Not just yet. I was more so basketball, 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 picking it up, dribbling, shooting, clearing my mind, put
Mm.
headphones in, and just it was just more so. It kept me sane when I could have went insane. You know, a
Yeah.
lot of people that go through injuries like that don't know how to waver themselves into actually relaxing their mind and understanding that it
Mm.
will be another day. You
Yeah.
know, they tend to get into the wrong things to try to recover, or they try to,
Yeah.
or they forcing something that they know they're not supposed to force, when you just could have just utilized something that'll ease your mind. And basketball was that for me. So when I thought about that, I was just more so like, I'm gonna use this until I can't
Mhm.
use it no more. And so
Yeah.
that's why I got through the three surgeries and was able to do what I did for a good, I mean, having a great career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Even after the surgery. Yeah. Absolutely. Mo, talk about your recruitment to George Washington.
So
When
yeah, funny story. And I was just up there the other day with my point guard. So this is actually
Gotcha.
why it's funny. We was just talking about it. Uh, of course, I never wanted to leave Indiana. Indiana was
Yeah.
home to me. I just felt like at the time I wasn't fulfilling myself.
Mm.
And at that time, I just felt like I had a lot more in the tank that a lot of people did not understand. I
I would
I'm
agree.
just not gonna, and I'm not gonna waver. I just felt like after having three surgeries in
Yeah.
22 months of my career, a lot of people kind of wavered on me, kind of said like, I don't think this kid is really gonna be the same kid
Yeah.
anymore. And you could just tell was, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying, like people were getting recruited in the areas of just because they didn't understand of who I was gonna be.
Yeah.
I I just, and I can't fault them for that. At this point, it's, you're a coach.
Yeah.
You got a job to do. Get it. And
Yeah.
if I'm continuously getting hurt every single year, it's just, it happens. Things happen,
Mhm.
and I wouldn't take my journey and change it for nothing.
Gotcha.
Because the next kid may need that.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
going into my recruitment, I was told that I could stay, but it would be in my best interest to transfer. Now I'm not gonna put out no names. We're not doing that.
Okay.
But uh but so it was said that in my senior year I was only gonna play like 10 minutes a game. And I and
Man.
I and so I felt I was hurt about that because I
Yeah.
know the magnitude of the work that I was gonna put in. And
Yeah.
you know it just was like, okay, so in my eyes, as me being a basketball player, I'm like,
Mhm.
this is where they're basically saying like I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
So, and I take that to heart. I take that to heart to this day. Like, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie, I still think about that to this day. Like, I was told that,
Yeah.
so wherever I was going, I was gonna make sure that was my best year. And
Mhm.
when I was going through that transfer process, I just felt so bad because Indiana was home. Like I would still go to class and I would see in the newspaper like
Wow.
Maurice Creek is transferring, and people are
Man.
looking at me like
Yeah.
basically like, damn, you're leaving. Like, and
Yeah.
it just hurt me because I wanted to be with the guys that I started with. I wanted to be with the program that I started with, but at
Yeah.
the same time, I had to do what I had to do for me because I understood where I wanted to go after the fact. Um, and so George Washington was the last straw. It was basically like Marshall had a coach there. His name was Coach Heron. He used to coach at Pittsburgh as an assistant over Jamie
Uh-huh.
Dixon.
Gotcha.
And he wanted me to go there. He was going to give me the ultra green light just to do what I wanted to do.
Man.
He really was going
Yeah.
to, yeah, put the ball in my hands and everything of that nature. But I just didn't know too much about Marshall. I didn't know
Yeah.
what I was putting myself into or anything of that nature. Um, so
Mhm.
it was kind of hard just to say, "Oh, I'll go to Marshall," just off of that strength. I just never
Yeah.
knew, and it really wasn't one of them schools that was being looked at as far as basketball just yet either. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
wasn't like somewhere where like if you are killing it, I mean, of course, anybody, if you're killing it anywhere, you're gonna get seen.
Oh
But
yeah.
at the same time, it takes a team to beat a team. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? I can't go out there, shoot 50 shots and have 50 points, but I'm still losing.
Yeah.
We're not
I know
getting
what
anything
you're saying.
about out of that. So it was hard for me.
Mhm.
But they was still in my list though, just off of the strength of I knew the
Yeah.
opportunity I had. And Texas was another choice. And so this was the
Hmm.
going to the backtrack from my
Yeah.
recruitment. It was
Mhm.
going, you know what I'm saying? Texas was backtracking. But the problem with Texas was that they had another recruit at the time, and I'm a senior. He's a freshman coming in, so it's more so like, what do you want? Do you want a
Yeah.
senior that's established to a point where it's like, all right, he might do something, he might not do something, or do you want to build a freshman up for 4 years and you know what I'm
Mm.
saying, and establish his career? And they chose the kid for 4 years, which I would never fault to Texas for that. That's just the
Yeah.
business and the nature of the game. So
Mhm.
when I went to George Washington, it was funny. I got there. I went through my recruiting process with them, talked to the coaching staff. They were just telling me that I was literally their missing piece to what they needed on the team to be great.
Wow.
And um, you know, everything, and I was looking at the games. I went home and watched some of the games
Uh-huh.
online from the last year. And they had an okay year last year, but it
Yeah.
was more so like, all right, if I come here, I know
Yeah.
we could be great. You know what I'm saying? I know we could be a great team
Uh-huh.
this year. And I knew one of the guys already. So he
Okay.
already was in my mind, like I'm already about to be playing with somebody that I've played against all my life. So he already know how I play. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like his name is Isaiah Armwood.
Okay.
So me and him were the captains of the team for our
Gotcha.
senior year. So
Mhm.
it just made sense to go to George Washington. It's the hometown team.
Yeah.
At the time, uh I was even trying to do a workout with Maryland. They didn't work me
Mhm.
out. So it gets personal from why we were going to
Yeah.
talk about that shot. So it got personal. So
Yeah.
they didn't work me out. So
Hmm.
I didn't really get nothing from Georgetown, which is cool.
Yeah.
I
Right.
definitely was understandable at the time.
Yeah.
But George Washington came with, hey, look, you come here, we're going to be a great team. We got all the pieces. We don't have shooting.
Mm.
We don't have shooting. We don't have a natural born scorer that can actually shoot the basketball at a high clip. We need you to come
Yeah.
here for us to be a good team. They told me that. I went and played with the guys. Everything was love. I mean, I'm talking about, it felt like I was with a whole family that I never knew was possible to have.
That's
When
awesome.
and like when I played with them, like we're talking about stuff. We're just talking about the season. Before I even committed to the team, we're talking about the
Awesome.
season. So it
Yeah.
was like, all right, I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go here, and and all my family can see every game. It just made sense, It just made
Yeah.
sense for me. So that's why I went to George Washington, and quite frankly, I think I made a good choice.
No, absolutely you did. Man, I can't believe Maryland did that to you. Jeez. That's
I I always said, you could fool me once.
yeah.
You can fool me twice. I'm not, and really,
Yeah.
honestly, after that twice, I was
Uh-huh.
like, All right.
Yeah.
And then it made it even more crazier that
Mhm.
they were on the schedule my senior year. So I circled that game.
Oh, I bet.
I circled that game for sure.
Yeah. Walk me through a little bit of that game, man. I mean, could you sleep at all at that one, or was it just the same mentality you had with the Kentucky game of just like, man, I'm so amped up and ready?
I ain't gonna lie to you. I was more at peace that game than the
Wow.
Kentucky game. So I was like, I already knew what was gonna happen. So Kentucky
Yeah,
was different for me. Kentucky
gotcha.
was different because I'm a freshman at the time.
Yeah,
I'm more so looking at the league. This is an opportunity to put your name in a staple for draft boards. And
yeah.
after I had that game in North
Uh-huh.
Carolina, what was that? The North Carolina Central game where I missed a 30-point. I could have had a
Okay.
back-to-back 30-point game.
Mhm.
The last person to do that at that time was Eric Gordon. So
Mhm.
Okay.
so
Yeah,
after that, my stock rose up to something I was like, wow, like I'm actually here now. You know what I mean? So now
yeah.
I gotta really keep this going up. So
Uh-huh.
um after that started with the Kentucky game, I was more so nervous because I was like, they're a top 10, they're top 4 in the country.
Yeah.
We don't come out looking to play, we're gonna get smoked. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And then like
Yeah.
granted, we fought them hard. They just had way too much for us at the time.
That a lot of
Mhm.
And
firepower.
yeah. And so when it came to the Maryland game, I slept easy. I was in the gym that night. So
Yeah.
the shot that I hit, I was working
Uh-huh.
on that move all night long.
Man, it was sick.
So
It was so sick.
yeah.
I wish I could
So-
play it, but just because of copyright, I don't want to. But for those that are listening or even watching, Google it. Maurice Creek, Maryland shot. It'll pop up on Google. Um, you can go over the play real quick, but it
yeah.
was, man.
Yeah, so I slept easy that night. I of
Yeah,
course like I'm not really a rap type guy when I'm warming up or anything about nature. That's just a fun fact about me. Like I like
yeah,
listening to calm, cool music. So I was, you know what I'm saying, in my jam, but I was ready. Like I was more so amped for this game because I knew I
hmm
was just disrespected twice. So
right.
and one of my guys, my younger brothers, I call him my brother too. Like he was in my
Uh-huh.
household. So that's why I really wanted to go to Maryland because he had
Gotcha.
Roddy Peters was a freshman at Maryland when I was a
Okay.
senior at George Washington. And had I went to Maryland, I would have been his senior. He would have been the freshman at that time. It just would
Yeah.
have made more it would have made sense. We already knew each other from years on in. He used to go with me to the gym. We used to play in our front yard together, hoop all night, all day. So we just had that connection towards each
Yeah.
other. But they didn't know that. But I knew what was going on and why I wanted to go there.
Gotcha.
Um, but yeah, I slept real easy that day, and I was like, this is going to be a hell of a game for me. I already knew it was going to be one of these games where
Yeah.
I'm just going to be clicking and connecting on
hmm
all cylinders. So, and it just happened to be one of those times where it was literally I didn't feel like I could be stopped at all. It just
hmm
was a good game because Maryland was a great team, and
hmm
we had to really be on our piece because we'd have lost that game. But when I got the opportunity to take that shot, I knew I wasn't giving them no other chances. I was gonna let them make them feel every piece of
Yeah.
pain that I felt from y'all from the recruiting process to
hmm
actually not giving me a shot to show you that I'm still one of them ones. So um before the play even happened, we were gonna set up a play for my point guard Joe McDonald. And
Okay.
um at that time I was like, hey coach, if in a peaceful manner, like, look, if you give me the ball right here, we're going home. We're gonna go home with a
I
win
love
right now.
Yeah.
And so
I love that.
he scratched the whole play
Yeah.
and literally just was like, all right, make sure you get it in the backcourt.
Uh-huh.
Make sure you don't give them a good amount of time to get an extra shot up.
Yeah.
And I'm trusting and basically saying I'm trusting you with this basketball as you being my
Wow.
senior. And I knew from there on in, I knew the whole play that I was going to do. I literally was doing the move all night long, that little step back move all
Yep.
night long. And it literally just happened just like it was a dream or something. Like,
Yeah.
it just made perfect sense to just do that same move. So I caught the ball in the backcourt. I'm already sizing it up. Like, all right, I'm looking at the clock. It's like 10 seconds on the clock.
Yeah.
I'm going to go at like 5 seconds.
Mm.
So I'm already walking the ball up. So by the time I get
Yeah.
past half court, it's like 6 seconds. So I, put the ball between my legs on the left side, had the, because people don't know, like, if I want to step back, I'm going to step back off of my left leg, just off of strength of I can get the movement and the motion of being able to get my quick release off with my right hand. If I do it off my right, I'm turning into my shot. So I put the ball between my legs on the left hand. I kind of explode like I'm going to the rim. So at this time, and Nick is gonna kill me. Nick Faust is gonna kill me to this day because it was on him. And shout out to him. He's having a great year overseas. But I just knew, like, you're at this point, you might as well go ahead and count it. So so I explode like I'm going to the rim, and as I see Nick kind of like trying to beat me to the spot, I step back real quick. And so at the time when I stepped back, I saw Nick's hand kind of like touch the ground a little bit.
Yeah.
And when he touched the ground, I literally just had the motion to literally get a quick release up and hit the shot. Now, what people don't know is that even with Nick touching the ground like that, he still had the length of his arms to almost block that shot. Now, had I did like a regular shot, I would have got blocked. We'd have went to overtime, and we don't know what's going on from there. So the way I had to shoot the ball, I had to shoot it ultra quick to get the shot up, and it went in. And I was so hyped that it went in that I still didn't understand. I had to calm myself down because they still had like 1.2 seconds on the clock, and I was like, "You're not going to beat us here either." So I had to, so if you see me in the video, like I'm running back, but then I'm like, "Oh wow, he might get a half court shot on me." And I've seen too many of those in my day,
right?
And so I'm like running towards him and trying to jump up and trying to block it or make it hard for him. And then it was there. Like I was so hyped. It was like at that point, my college career could have ended right there because it was just that much of a blessing to the point where like that's all I ever wanted. Now everybody's understanding who I was at that point, and I felt like I really had that respect after that game for sure.
Man, what a shot, what a move, what a moment, man. That's awesome. I'm glad you got that one, especially after what they did to you. I didn't know that backstory at all. David did.
I didn't know that. The revenge factor is awesome.
That
makes it that much better.
Anybody who know me know, like, it's even to this day, like I'll be playing and I'll go to one of our main pro-ams is like the Brunson League, and it's in Baltimore. So that's where all like the pros go out and play. Like, a lot of overseas guys go out and play. And so the thing about me when I go up there, a lot of people like to talk smack, Now it is known now not to say anything to me. Just let me play and let me go about it. Because it's happened too many times to the point where like somebody will say something to me, and like it's like fluid just getting lit by a match. So now you got to understand, like I'm really I'm already focused, but now I'm ultra focused because of that. And then I'm talking back. So now you gotta match me now. You gotta match my energy now. So like I said, it's just when it comes to revenge, when it comes to game of basketball, I love it. I love it. Like I if it's like I had a bad game against you, it's like the next time I see you, like I might have my best game. But if it's like we're going back and forth, if you talking to me, like you better be able to match me and what I'm about to do to you, because if not, you're gonna get embarrassed. And majority of the times, that's exactly what happens. Like they just don't know how to sustain what it is with me, and I won't tell you either.
I love it. I love that, man. Man,
Yeah.
that's one thing that I loved about sports was that the revenge factor, and then also just like I never talk too much. I let other people talk. I kind of just always kept my mouth shut and then let my game do the talking a little bit. I mean, I didn't play much sports like in high school or anything, but in middle school, like we heard it all the time, me and David, and I never responded back. So I just always didn't believe in that. So I'm glad other people like Mo believe in that, David. So just want to shout it out. It's just fuel for the fire. Just fuel for
Oh
the
yeah.
fire. So,
Yeah. And I'm just
but
like you. Like I don't really say too much when I'm on the
yeah,
floor. Like I might say something towards my teammates, but I'm never like gonna hit a shot
yeah,
and like talk crap after a shot.
no,
Like it's because it's I feel like it's something I'm supposed to do regardless. You
yep,
know, like for me, it's just like, okay, that was just a shot I just hit because I've done this
yep,
500,000 times.
Mhm.
But
exactly.
you know, you got people that'll get a tough bucket and will say something. I'm like, well, did you just say something to me? Like
What?
I'm like, all right, well now it's up from here. Like, you know,
Yeah,
like you're gonna have to match me, you know. And it's been a couple of people that we've had battles because of that, like matching while
yeah.
going back and forth. And those are the ones that those are the kind of games that I actually enjoy, you know.
I was gonna
I'm
say
yeah,
that.
it's
I was
I
like, I bet you
enjoy it.
enjoy
I
that.
crave. I be
Yeah,
just waiting for somebody. If it's somebody in the crowd that says something, if it's somebody, you know,
mhm.
that's playing against me that says something, I just wait for it. And I just tell myself it's coming, it's coming. And then, you know, it happens. And then
Mhm.
it's just I'm just more motivated than I actually started off with, which is
Yeah,
bad because it's like, wow, how much more motivated can you get? Like, you know,
right.
so
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
No, I feel that, man. Well, we appreciate you coming on, Mo. Man, it was an honor to talk some ball. Get to know a little bit of your story. Man, the revenge factor was real. Um, man, sorry that we missed getting to talk about overseas, but I'm just glad that you were able to come on and show a little about your story. And it was a complete honor to have you on. And guys, if you want more content like this, go to our podcast on youtube.com, 5 Arms on the Lucky Fin. Comment, like, subscribe. Also, we're on Spotify, Apple Music, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.